When atheists ask theists for evidence for some god, we usually get arguments, feels, and vibes. Often it's just something someone grew up thinking was a thing, and they never stopped. And then sometimes there's word salad. And that's what I have for us today. Some tasty word salad with Jordan Peterson dressing. Hi, my name is Scarlett, and I'm an atheist and a skeptic, and I like hearing dumb arguments and saying snarky things, which is what I'm doing today, while I look at a short clip of Jordan Peterson pretending to speak intellectually about belief in God. If somehow you have been on the interwebs in general, or YouTube specifically, and have not come across Jordan Peterson and his ramblings, please teach me your skills. You clearly are a wise soul, making judicious use of your research skills and good use of your time on this mortal coil. I would have your secret, please. And so, if you're one of those lucky souls who don't know, Peterson trained as a psychologist. He was a professor in Toronto. He's written a couple of pompous self-help books about life rules and lobsters, and he came to internet fame because he opposed the addition of gender language to an anti-discrimination law in Canada. Now, I am totally paraphrasing here because it's got nothing to do with our thing today. Just a little fun, snarky context. Now, mainly, he's one of those internet grifters. And he's trying to establish a university since all the real ones are too woke. And his academy is mainly about watching videos made by other crank grifters. LOL, devoid of ideology. Every conservative and reactionary likes to pretend like their beliefs are just common sense facts about the world. Triple yawn. But he also has lots of thoughts on God, and they're silly, despite being wrapped in obtuse blather. Not even blibbity blab. Speaking of which, we're done with the blibbity blab, so let's see what the king of the lobsters has for us today.
There's a paradox in the notion of whether we can know God exists, and the paradox is in part, you can't know God. And so,
is that a paradox? For me to be a paradox, the thing has to be real. So in this case, God has to be real, but that hasn't been established. Now, my own idea is people believe in God because they are taught from an early age that a God exists. Starting at a time when the brain is just forming. And so this belief seems natural because you've never known any different. And as you get older, you just never get rid of that belief. And you combine that with our evolved abilities to sense agency behind actions, even though there's no agency, it's just a natural thing, and pattern recognition. So you start to think that something is controlling the universe, setting this all in motion for us. Likely our ancestors, who started all of these beliefs and didn't have the scientific knowledge we have today, imagined gods behind all manner of physical processes. And we've sort of inherited some of those beliefs. But anyway, let's just accept there's a paradox. So God exists and we just can't know him.
and so can you know that something exists that you can't understand? And the answer is, well, maybe that's why you only see God's back in some real sense, right?
So maybe I am misunderstanding the erudite gentleman's intent here, but if you see the back of a thing, you can still see it. You can know it exists. Like, we don't have to grasp something in its entirety to know it exists. We don't have to understand it completely. Like, I might not know how my computer exists, but I can see my computer. We can be ignorant of lots of things, but we can still see part of it and know that there's an existence there. You know, there are whole sciences built around examining the remains of things and building from there. Mountain ranges that used to exist, species that used to exist, and so on. And I want to point out that lots of religious texts talk about their god or gods walking around on earth, actually talking to the people that started their religion. Even the current Christian God in the Bible is said to have interacted with Adam and Eve, Abraham and Sarah, Moses, and Jesus was supposedly a god, but we just can't expect the same treatment today. Okay, but let's keep going. Let's see what this is about.
Right? You get hints, and maybe you get hints if you open yourself up in the right way. And one of the ways you open yourself up in the right way is not to ask for what you want in the God is a celestial butler manner, but...
If we get hints, that would be one way of knowing a God exists. It's a thing we can know. And we need to open ourselves in the right way. So to get hints about a God that we aren't sure exists, we open ourselves up in some specific way that is the right way. But how do we know we can do that if we don't know the God exists? So to recap, this clip started with, we can't know God exists. Then we moved to, we can see God's back. And now we're at, we can get hints if we do it right. This is just all over the place. And I guess this treat God like a celestial butler is that we shouldn't pray for God to do things for us, even though tons of prayers, and Christian prayers specifically, are about asking God to do stuff for people. But let's keep going.
But to ask how it is that you could transform yourself so that you could be a better agent of the divine will or something like that.
And then what do you find when you do that? When you embrace responsibility, what you find is meaning, which is a route to the divine.
Well, the secularists would say, well, without God, you could still find meaning in service to others. And I would say, yes, that's true. But
so we should pray to be a better agent of the divine will of a being we're not sure exists. This is the right way to open ourselves up to the divine? And clearly, this clip with its overly dramatic music is from some round table of blowhards convincing themselves they're right. If you pray to be a vehicle of divine will or whatever, you embrace responsibility, whatever the hell that means, and you find meaning. Well, at least Peterson admits that we here in the secular world can find meaning too. Let's finish this out, and I swear I did not edit this clip. This is the way someone put it together.
True. But the reason you find meaning in the service to others is because that's one step on the ladder to the divine. Well, Nietzsche said God is dead, and what's going to happen? Nihilism?
I love that editing. That's the best. So smooth and clean. So, Peterson is another overconfident dude saying that the reason we secular folks find meaning and purpose in service to others is that this is a step to the divine. And man, he looks satisfied with his little statement as if he came up with all this. And also with Peterson, it always comes back to Nietzsche. He actually has like a 1,000,000-hour course or something on Nietzsche on his academy. But Nietzsche was just a dude. Just one dude. A smart dude with intelligent things to say. Just a dude, though. But let's assume Nietzsche, and by extension, Peterson, is right. No God, or God belief, means you're a nihilist. Pretending otherwise doesn't help anything. Like, if there's no God, and there's no meaning to our existence, there is simply no meaning, and pretending otherwise is self-delusion. Sometimes I get comments about dealing with these short clips that are clearly cut from longer discussions, saying I should go watch the full discussion and get the full context. Maybe, but someone on a production team somewhere is choosing to put these smaller chunks together and put them out for the wider world to see as smaller chunks. And it may be the only thing that someone watches. When people are scrolling YouTube, they might not go out and locate the full clip and take in all the context. This may be all they watch, and then they go on and watch something else. Little clips like this accumulate in people's minds. People half watch, maybe they even fully watch it, but maybe they don't think about what they're hearing. They don't question what is being said or how it is said. They just get the gist, and that gist confirms a belief they have. And this clip goes so fast, I think it kind of washes over people. And the impression you're left with is Peterson has done something. He's proved God, or at least given a good reason for God belief. Now, having listened to quite a bit of word salad Peterson style, I can't imagine the full clip is any better or provides any cogent argument that I need to hear beyond what this clip says. And it basically comes down to, it's better to believe in God because nihilism is a terrible thing. And first of all, I just don't think that's true. And second, if that is what's true, well, I don't know why pretending otherwise helps us get anywhere. Well, that's what I have for you on this clip today. What did you make of Jordan Peterson's word salad? Put it in the comments below. You know I love to read your comments. And while you're down there, if you haven't already, like and subscribe and do all the YouTube stuffing. Pour out your libations to Algorithmo and his consort Algorithma, that they may bless you with lots of good recommendations. And they'll probably be bad ones too. You It's YouTube. You'll get good and bad ones, but there you go. And if you like what I do, you can also buy me a coffee. Thanks to those of you who have bought me a coffee. The link is in the description below. And hey, I am so happy. I have the QR code here on my kitties and on the end of the page, and you can just shoot your phone at it and give me a tip if you are so inclined. And once again, thanks for everything you do to make this channel, this small little channel on the YouTube, successful. I'll see you back soon with something new. Don't know what it is, but it's gonna be stupid. Bye for now.